Okay, so one thing I can't stress enough, one of the first things to think about when you're approaching animation, and I want to stress also that we're talking about classic Disney style animation. There's a lot of different animation out there, from, the South Park style all the way through The Simpsons, all kinds of stuff. But today we're going to talk about, like I said, Disney classic style animation. And one of the first things you need to be able to do is you got to be able to draw. You need good, solid drawing skills. Our language, when we animate, is, you're animating dialogue and acting and that sort of thing, but the language is visual. The language is drawing. And so if you're struggling trying to get those drawings down, well, then that's a hit against you in trying to get nice, clear acting, trying to get nice, clear emotion on the screen. Okay? So one of the things I recommend, and this is something I still do even after 25 years of animating, is get into the habit of getting outside, drawing from life. Don't draw from photographs. You can draw from photographs, but don't draw from them habitually. The thing to think about is, when we're animating, we're recreating life. Sure, this is a two-dimensional screen, but we're creating a three-dimensional world inside. And so you want to get in the habit of going outside, seeing things in three-dimensional space, because you're going to be translating those ideas and those notions onto the screen and animating them. So go out, draw animals, draw landscapes, draw whatever, but try to draw from life. Let me give you an example. Actually, real quick. So when you do that, when you go out and you draw from life and you're continually doing this, you're building a visual library that when you do get back into the studio and you can sit down, that language, that drawing language, that the pool that you pull from will be that much easier to actually do. And I want to give you an example now. So I've been drawing and animating this bear for a while, and I'm thinking very dimensionally about how the shapes of this bear and how she moves through space and how her form works. And so if I can do that well and get that down, then I'm going to be able to flow draw right through this scene. And really, just if there is a struggle, it's the struggle of finding the right acting and finding the right emotion, but not struggling to actually get that emotion drawn. So if I'm sitting down and I start drawing, first of all, going back to, good animation design, I'm thinking about her in much simpler terms in the way she's built. And, I want to, let's say I want her to be smiling here. Well, I can just quickly, thinking about her form, quickly come in and through this visual language, I can get her drawn very quickly. And, then I can be on to the next shot, onto the next drawing, onto the next scene, whatever it might be. But once again, I can't stress it enough. It's one of the first things, especially as a 2D animator, obviously, because there's a lot of 3D animators that don't draw. But if you're doing 2D animation, hand-drawn, classic animation, then you need to be able to draw. It's the first rule in my mind. If you're struggling with your drawing, then you're going to struggle with everything else. And so just make it a habit to, as you're learning your animation, as you're perfecting that craft, you're also getting into the habit of drawing. And you go out to the zoo, you go out to the beach, you go out wherever you might be. If you're in the city, go hang out on the street and draw people, go to the mall and just look at people, look at animals, look at life and draw them. And I guarantee you, it's like anything else. The more you do it, the better you'll get. And, having been doing this for 25 years, drawing to me now is a secondary thought. If I think it, I draw it and it's there. And so the more I do it, and like I said, I continue to practice every day so that you don't get rusty. Drawing and being creative is like a muscle. And if you don't use it, that muscle will atrophy. So the more you do it, the stronger you'll get. Okay? So that's good, solid drawing for animation.